So let's talk about something you might know all too well. You've got this incredible product, right? The quality, the materials, the engineering, it's top-notch. But then you bring it to a new market, say Europe, and crickets, just silence. It's a super common problem, and that's exactly what we're going to dig into today, how to bridge that gap.
And this question, right here, it just cuts straight to the core of it. We know your product is exceptional. That's your strength. But it also points to this incredibly frustrating reality. You can literally have the best thing on the market, but if it doesn't click with the local culture, it's like you're not even there. You're invisible.
Okay, and this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The disconnect is so clear. Over on the left, you've got your reality. Solid manufacturing, proven value, everything you've poured your heart into. But then, on the right, that's the European market's perception. And man, it can be a totally different world. Maybe the messaging feels a little weird to them, or the website is just confusing. That friction, that's the danger zone. That's exactly where amazing products just disappear.
All right, so here's our plan. We're going to talk about the visibility gap, then how clarity creates opportunity. We'll break down the 4 pillars of what we call translation, check out the results, and then wrap up with how to get your brand amplified. Let's jump in.
Okay, first up, the European visibility gap. This is really just a name for that disconnect we were talking about, where your product's quality just isn't seen by the market. It's about getting lost in translation, but believe me, it's so much more than just words.
Now, here's what's so important about this. It all comes down to expectations. You see, users in the West, especially Europe, they aren't just buying a thing. They're buying an experience. They expect clarity, trust, and a digital journey that just makes sense. Any friction at all, a clunky website, a message that feels a bit off, it's not just a minor issue. It's a huge red flag. It kind of sets off this little alarm in their head that something's not right, and poof, your brand becomes invisible before they've even given you a real shot.
So, the big question is, how do you fix that? How do you break through? Well, that leads us right into our next section. Clarity creates opportunity. This is the whole philosophy, really. It's about turning that invisibility into real influence, and more importantly, into measurable growth.
I love this quote. Clarity creates opportunity. Strategy turns it into growth. Let that sink in for a sec. Clarity. That's just making sure your message hits home, that people get it. But that's only the first step. The strategy part, that's the real magic. That's the plan for using that clarity to build trust and actually grow your business.
And the technical term for this whole process is brand translation. Now, let's be super clear. This has almost nothing to do with just changing words from one language to another. No. This is way deeper. It's about aligning your entire brand, your story, your visuals, the whole feel of your digital presence with what the European market expects and understands. It's how you connect the culture to the commerce.
Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? Let's get into the nitty-gritty with the 4 pillars of translation. This isn't just winging it. It's a really structured way to build up your brand's influence.
All right, let's break down these 4 pillars. First up is brand strategy. This is all about nailing down your core story so it resonates across borders. Then you've got asset revision. We're talking about refining all your materials so they speak the local language, culturally. Third is UX audits. This is a deep dive to find and totally eliminate any of that digital friction we talked about. And finally, it all comes together with the website build, creating a platform that actually converts visitors into customers and communicates your value perfectly.
And when you do all that, it leads us right here to the results of resonance. Because a brand that's been properly translated doesn't just feel better, it performs better. Let's talk about the real, tangible results you can expect.
So what does this resonance actually get you? Well, think about a cosmetics company from Asia trying to break into Europe. For them, it means way better user engagement because their website finally feels as high-end as their products. Or what about a winery from South America? For them, it means building a stronger reputation, which leads to more qualified leads from distributors who finally get their story. Bottom line, it means your brand speaks powerfully and people actually listen.
And look, this isn't just a nice idea. This approach has been proven to work time and time again with clients in all sorts of industries: cosmetics, wine, manufacturing, you name it. Whether they're from Japan or Brazil, the core problem is so often the same. The principles of creating clarity and trust, they're universal, even if the cultural specifics change.
And that brings us right to our final point, your brand amplified.
We've kind of come full circle, right? We started with a fantastic product that was getting lost because of cultural disconnects. Now we're talking about a brand that's finally ready to be seen for the powerhouse it truly is.
This sentence just nails it, doesn't it? You have the strength. We ensure it's seen. The quality, the innovation, the hard work, that's all you. That's your strength. All this brand translation work does is build the right stage and turn on the spotlights so the entire audience can see you clearly.
So really, the last question is for you. Are you ready to stop being invisible? Are you ready to turn that incredible identity you've worked so hard on into genuine international influence?
If that sounds like what you're looking for, here's how you can start that conversation. Just remember, getting from a great product to a recognized global brand, it's all about that strategic translation. Thanks so much for your time.